We hit something of a tricky crossroads when it comes to retro games appearing on Xbox platforms, because we always have to sort of ask ourselves, who are these games appealing to? Are they trying to appeal to people who played the games originally, or are they trying to find a new audience? The truth is, it's probably a little bit of both, but it leans, I think, more towards the older audience. At least that's the case with Another World, which is now on Xbox One.
Yeah, so this is celebrating the 20th anniversary of Another World. You know, this is sort of one of those puzzle platform games that's renowned for being just an absolute classic, obviously back in the Amiga days. And now we've got it here on Xbox One, which is a bit strange because it's got some very, very slight HD sort of updated graphics.
Just a bit of smoothing, really.
But the sort of gameplay is completely intact. The combat and the puzzles are as you remember them to be, which on one hand is great because, you know, we always love revisiting our memories, but on the other hand, the games industry has evolved quite a bit in the last 20 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of these puzzles can actually be quite unforgiving in their own way. There's no kind of clues for you. You're going to have to really struggle through some of this stuff, working out what it is you have to do. But then, in some ways, that's also a virtue. I mean, that's what these games are all about. And I think, in some ways, it's almost like watching an old movie with the old special effects. You kind of have to allow for the fact, yeah, this is kind of a bit budget by our standards, but the animations actually are quite impressive for the time. I mean, you know, try and put yourself back in those shoes, and it's really quite something. And the fact that it has remained so true to the original is also something to applaud, really. And
in sort of like a worst case scenario sort of situation, if your parents are really on at you for spending £300 on a next-gen console, there's a good chance they might remember this game. So boot it up, and you can say, look, Mum, look, Dad, Another World, have another go.
When you can go back to the old retro graphics.
Yes.
I mean, we just switched back and forth through these for you. You can do this from the menu before you even start the game, if you like, or you can do it on the fly. I mean, as you can see, there really isn't a huge amount of difference between the pixelated version and the smooth version.
So old, no, that's new.
That's new, that's the smoother version. But again, that kind of speaks to the authenticity of the game, and yet you can do it on the fly. So quick press of a button, and it goes back and forth from pixelated to smooth, which, it's quite quirky. I mean, the game does have a good sense of humour, always did. You know, it's actually a pretty decent action platformer, but it's not super long. In terms of value for money, tricky to argue. I mean, it's probably going to take you a short while to play through first time, but probably less than an hour once you know what you're doing. So, not necessarily one we're going to recommend to everyone, but if you've got an interest in it already, yeah, why not pick it up?